We are live, but I just want to bump the stream first.
Oh,
Oh, we're live. What's going on, people?
Yeah, we're just went live right
know we
now.
were live.
It's the long take, the basement collab. First time ever. Not first time ever on Lights Camera, but
No, but this is an Ultimate Boys Are Back. We haven't done this since Bad Batch ended.
yeah, true.
Jesus.
Yeah,
And that's coming back when?
yeah. That is
Oh, nice.
like early next year, I think, something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, yes, we are on the Long Take Now episode. I think we are on 11 today, joined by the My Mom's Basement crew, Clem and Robbie. We're going to be talking a little bit about Andor, a little bit about maybe some other things, and then we're going to do a draft of nuts. I called it force insensitive Star Wars characters. Because they always talk about being force sensitive, like you're just insensitive to the force if you're on this draft. But yeah, so one thing though I want to do note off the top is that both me and the Goochman saw "Don't Worry, Darling" last night. The Harry Styles, Olivia Wilde movie that's been getting nonstop shit on the internet for a multitude of things. Gotta say, it's no good.
I don't want to talk about the movie yet because I have a lot of thoughts. I just want to save for the pot on Monday. But the theater experience was
tell me about that. Was it full of Harry Styles fans?
Full. So the theater I go to is the Regal Union Square, so it's kind of right on NYU's campus. So it's just all these NYU girls. There's probably 150 of them, maybe 3 other guys in there, and I'm the only single guy there. Let's put it that way.
That was my experience as well.
The way they acted during the movie was so just absurd. Like this, Olivia Wilde comes on screen pretty early in the movie. Second she comes on screen, you got booze. Just immediately
booze in the theater?
Girls are booing.
Wow.
You're like some goddamn.
Wow. A lot of people agreeing with you guys in the comments.
Yeah. It was very weird, and I would say that I think the ultimate sign that the movie is bad is that when I left, there was a lot of Harry Styles like super stands in my screening. It was the first one to air, I think, in New York City, like at 4 p.m. And we left the theater as like a giant, obviously big ass group, and I heard all the Harry Styles stands saying like, "Yeah, like Harry was cute in it." I think that's how you know it's bad. That's all they could say.
They were laughing like every time he tried to do something dramatic or serious. The crowd would just like start dying laughing. Like they don't want him to be a good actor. They just want him to like just keep.
Yeah, why? Why are they laughing? I saw a video of them laughing at one of his dramatic moments where he has like the pout on his face. It kind of went viral, and it wasn't great. But I was like, "You're laughing out loud," and yeah.
I don't think he's a bad actor. He's serviceable, but like
and obviously you want to save your thoughts for the podcast, but I'm disappointed to hear everyone say it was bad based on the trailer because the trailer's pretty great.
Good trailer,
Everything has been downhill since that first trailer. Yeah. Everything.
Damn. It was cursed. It was a cursed movie.
That trailer, because I remember we had seen like old production stills where it's all like the 1950s shit, and it's like, oh, Harry Styles, Florence Pugh, like this is gonna be awesome. And then it was like, I thought it was gonna be like a 50s drama, but then you see that trailer and you're like, oh shit, this is gonna be something really crazy. And
and then you start hearing like everything about the movie, and you're like, maybe it's not gonna be great.
We'll talk about it again. I think me and Gooch will expound more on Sunday, but or Monday, I guess. But it is one of the worst movies as far as cast chemistry I think I've ever seen. There is zero
so that came through on screen.
Yeah, zero chemistry between anybody and
Florence
a lot of
Pugh
bad miscasting.
That was some of the early things that she like half directed the movie.
I legitimately don't think the movie works on any level if you have anyone other than Pugh in there. She carried that movie from start to finish.
Yeah. Wow. I think I noted
dragging that movie to the finish line.
It's like her worst career performance, but like also for her, that means you got like a 98 on a test versus all hundreds.
You thought she was better in Fighting with Family than this?
No, don't bring that. Don't bring wrestling up.
I like that movie. I like that movie, but I don't think she's.
And she just came back, by the way, this week. That's kind of like relevant.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she was retired because she had a huge neck injury for years, and then she re-debuted on Wednesday.
This is a very true comment. Chris Pine is like,
we can't do all this. We can't do all this.
Like, yeah, well,
we're getting spoiled.
Oh my god. Okay, this is the last thing. This is the last thing. This is so true. It is that scene.
We are laughing so hard.
It was unbelievable.
Were
It was
girls
that
like
scene.
touching themselves?
No, it was like, this is what, see what Gucci's doing right now? Harry Styles did that move for no less than 10 minutes straight. I cannot, that's not an exaggeration.
He should do it for 11 minutes straight.
It was
He's
unbelievable.
one of the best dancers in the world. One of the best performers, like a great dancer. And you have him do like
this Charlie.
Were they trying to do the like Ex Machina thing?
No, dude, it was nowhere close to that.
It was a fun dance. I like that.
Yeah,
it was great. Yeah, great gift.
It was just unbelievable, that scene. But yeah, we're gonna talk about more about that later on Monday, I guess. But anyway, for us to talk about, we would love to talk to you guys about Andor. We talked a little bit about our own reactions between shit like that. We're one episode ahead because Robbie, you got the screeners too, but like you were respectful. You waited for everyone else to watch it, and you didn't watch the 4th episode. But the first 3 episodes, cool little like closed arc, which is something I really, really always liked about Clone Wars. Is like all their episodes are all based on these, like, give me a season of 18 episodes. It's like all contained in like 4-episode arc, 5-episode arc, this arc, and like that's something that I think is already really cool about this Andor one. But Robbie, what do you think of the first 3?
I absolutely love them. I said, like, in the first 3 episodes already, I can tell that I'm going to like this series better than Obi-Wan and Book of Boba Fett. And that might not mean a lot for a lot of people, but for me, I liked both of those shows. Like, I'm the positive Star Wars guy, people say all the time. Like, I like all Star Wars. But this, I was like, oh, this is like something on another level. I think Clem called it Star Wars After Dark. And I agree with that. I've been like recommending it to people who aren't the biggest Star Wars fans. I texted KFC about it last night. And I was like, dude, you should check this out. I think you would like it. The first episode gave me shades of I Told You the Night of, where it's like the main character is put in this position where he is on the run immediately and is like, holy crap, what did I do? And has to go to his family and say his goodbyes and set things up. And I think the actors are great. I think the production is great, and I love that they released 3. I think Ethan in the chat is right. The fact that they released 3 at once, I think, makes it great. We talked about it on our podcast. Like, if they just put out the first episode, I think we'd be like, oh yeah, it was good. I think if they put out 2, I think we'd be like, it's pretty good. And 3, I think we all see the direction, we all see the slow burn, the arc system they're going with, and we're like, yeah, it's pretty friggin' great.
And the way 3 ends too, I think it makes you feel satisfied by the end. Where after 1 or 2, you'd be like, all right, what's more? And you're waiting, another week for it to come out. So, because I think a lot of these streaming services or just networks in general, it's like we have the streaming culture where everyone's binging, but then you have like the episodic weekly things, and you can't really. It's so hard to tell a story now because our brains are so torn in those 2 different directions. The way they did the 3, the way they ended with 3, I should say, and the way they put it all together. Again, though. As I would imagine, the most casual Star Wars fan on the panel, it was a lot to take in for me. It was a lot to take in. It started with the planet name BBY5. I forgot we talked about before Yavin, before the Battle of Yavin. So I was a little confused off the jump there. Then we have flashbacks without knowing they're flashbacks, and then there's just all the new Star Wars name, all that kind of stuff you have to digest. But now that we've established ourselves and we've kind of got our sea legs, I'm very happy with it as well. I love that he fucking killed that dude execution style. Right? I was like, okay, this is the Star Wars show we're getting. We've been asking for a while, right, Robbie? We're saying like Star Wars always has a little bit of the kid show in it. We're taking that away. We're going PG-13. We're not going R. I don't think Mickey Mouse has the balls to give us an R Star Wars show anytime soon. But I kind of just like that. We're in a strip club to start things off. Our girl Bix is, in her smush. What do we call it? The smush hut?
Yeah,
the smush hut. I appreciate we had people are like, oh, there were, sex was canon in Star Wars back when Padme got pregnant. They frolicked in a fucking meadow and she ended up with twins. Like, don't give me that. That was nothing. That Bix was having dirty sex. Like, it smelled in that room by the end of it.
The way that they had sex in those movies with the anime Panikin, that actually would be a cool ass name for a Star Wars character.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be my Star Wars themed band name. We're performing at Celebration next year.
That was
going to Panic at the Disco tonight.
And sexual.
But the way they had sex is almost like how they would like warn you as a kid, like one of those made up stories, like, hey, you go frolicking in a meadow with a girl, she might end up pregnant. You don't want that to happen to you, do you? It's like,
dude, I as a kid, the first time I ever like heard it, like saw how sex worked with like sperm and shit was Look Who's Talking. It's a very weird way to set up this conversation. I realize that, but they kiss, and then all of a sudden you see the sperm going, and then the egg. And for I don't know until I was about 27 or so, I thought that's how you had sex. I thought that's how you made babies was kissing each other, and it was just a wild thing.
Yeah,
Tarantino Star Wars. Has that ever been rumored, or was there ever
Trek. Star Trek? Yeah,
he's a huge Trekkie. Yeah.
Oh,
big
that
Trek
sucks,
guy.
man. Fuck. That would have been awesome.
I'm sure
rated R one
too, though.
He has to, and I think like that's sort of like operatic.
He's such a fanboy. Like,
do you think Star Wars would have to counter with like, all right, fucking Nolan, go nuts?
Yeah,
Nolan would actually be a great director for Star Wars. I think.
Yeah,
he would go off the
absolutely.
rails or something.
He understood how to do a superhero movie. There's no reason to believe he wouldn't understand how to do a Star
space
Wars
movie.
Yeah, true.
It's like he has all the pieces. The one thing I've always wanted is that rated R Star Wars where like someone uses the Force to like a super gross end. Like imagine like a dude just like arguing with like a Sith and she just pulls his lungs out of his mouth using the Force. Like you could do some seriously messed up shit with the Force, and we haven't really seen it for obvious reasons, but still.
Someone yesterday, Star Wars.
Someone on our Reddit yesterday was like, just give us the Dark Vader like series, like from like the Vader from the comics, like when he's like Prime Vader, like him running around doing bad shit. I would love that.
Yeah, exactly. Gooch, what do you think of Andor?
I'm only 2 episodes in because I woke up and I did Lord of the Rings first, and yesterday I was busy. Dude, I'm in on this Rings of Power, like so in on it. But I mean, this show kicks ass. I'm like the second we get done, I'm watching episode 3. Opening up, like Clem said, in that strip club was like, okay, we're doing something different. You're like, especially with the music that they used, like it was like a club music. Like, what did they call it? What was the name of the Smush Hut? What if
I like that.
if they just played jazz music and just called it the Jizz Hut? But yeah, it's definitely PG-13. Like it also just looks great. Like this looks as good, if not better than Mando so far. Like I don't know, better than season 2 Mando, but it looks great. I mean, I'm all in on this series. Yeah.
And then I believe the showrunner is the guy who wrote Rogue One, Gilroy, right? So he there's a lot of like I think not totally similar vibes to that movie, but like a lot of that same like power through like great production sort of feel to it, which is it's not like usually a writer's responsibility, but it's great.
HBO Star Wars. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
You can tier the Star Wars series now,
which was rumored so many years ago, like way before the Disney acquisition. Yeah. There was talk of an HBO Star Wars series. I don't know. Well, it was.
That's a big purchase. I don't know.
This was like post Sopranos, and it was rumored that Lucas wanted to do something in the series. Tony Gilroy, by the way, I think is the guy who came in to rewrite some of Rogue One, which is interesting because I saw some people saying it was clear to see which parts of Rogue One he did. They were like, he probably came in and redid the opening with Cassian, where he shoots the guy in the alley.
So he maybe then, because they added the scene with Vader at the end of Rogue One, which is inarguably the best scene of the movie. Yeah. Like that was a very, very late addition. So maybe that was him. I mean, I'm sure there's so
my theater went so fucking nuts during that scene. I think back about it sometimes. It was so perfect to end that movie on a Vader scene.
Yeah. But by the way, Babu Fuck really is a funny name. I do like that. Yeah. It's very good. And yeah, practical sets, especially with Star Wars, like when you get away from the CG and like you're doing like on location shit like Andor does, especially in the next episode, which you guys are gonna love. Yeah. And I've told both my mom's basement fellas right here, that is going to be the episode that I think Clem is going to love the most. And I can't wait for it. It's going to be.
We have no idea what that means. We're so confused. We debated it on our podcast. We got no idea.
It's you're going to love it. It's one of those things.
I said maybe they confirmed Darth Jar Jar in the next episode.
I'm not. No comment on that just yet. But yeah, I think
they're saving that one for like a rainy day. If they're ever down on their luck, we'll do a Darth Jar Jar movie, and it'll just be $2 at the box.
Or whenever they do like another anthology animated series, like not the anime one, but like something like that, I'm sure they would do Darth Jar Jar or Force Sensitive. What was the one where
honestly do Star Wars What If? If you own that What If trademark already, Disney, like that would be so fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't go to the dark side.
Boom. That's like a 30-minute episode that I want to see right there.
Yeah, that one you could do so many like There's like a trillion different ways you can go with that, and I think every one of them would be cool if you were to do it like the same sort of Marvel style.
What if Qui-Gon never died against Darth Maul? What if Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan just murked him?
What if Anakin never went for the high ground? Like,
Well-
what if Anakin just kills Obi-Wan like at the end of the game? When
video
there's that
game,
option?
yeah.
What if Luke joins Vader?
You could do
Yeah.
a what if on Starkiller too. You could do the Force Unleashed in
Mhm.
like a 30-minute story. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh, and just to note this really quick,
This
I
is
know me and
such a
Gooch have seen it.
simple, good idea that there's no way they're not going to do this, right?
They're
They
absolutely
should.
gonna do
They
it.
own it already. Like I get that it's a Marvel thing, but like it's all under the same umbrella.
How
like
do we
this
get
one.
paid for this idea?
What if Anakin like sand? That's a great one.
Well, what if Owen Lars is, or was it? Oh, who was the dad that was with Shmi?
Owen, yeah.
What if he
Or
never
no,
lets his
no,
wife
no,
get
not Owen. It was
his uncle Owen, and his
Klieg.
name was like
Klieg
Klieg Lars.
Lars.
What if he never lets his wife get taken by sand people? Like there's Anakin never turns to darkness. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot. I do like the never liked sand. I will agree with this. I really liked Visions. I know you guys, or at least at Robbie, I don't think you totally vibed with it. I thought it was pretty cool.
There's some episodes I liked.
Yeah.
I thought it was like
I think I only
probably-
saw one episode. I saw
you're
like
talking about
the sisters or something.
Yeah, it's definitely a pick and choose where like because they're all different styles and
Oh
all that
yeah, I
shit,
don't
but
know
there's
which
some that are
Robbie you're
better than
talking
others.
about. We got stacked
Yeah,
Robbies
yeah.
here.
Well,
It's a
I'll
Robbie
answer
totem
Gooch.
pole.
There we go.
BYBIE, but that's like a low-key
It is.
rivalry
It's a
going on.
rivalry. You should put a
Yeah.
versus up there.
Yeah. But yeah, so just to wrap on Andor, I just think like I think people are going to be really impressed with the next episode too, and I'm super excited to see where else the series goes because like that's one of those things where like when I'm an episode ahead, like it almost kind of sucks because now I've had to wait like 3 weeks to get another episode, and like that's where I see Robbie Fox. I'm going to go Robbie Fox and then Goochman for the top. So
Yeah,
that's where like Robbie's strategy just plays it so much better than the dumb episode. But like I just need that instant gratification. But I'm just like super excited to see where we're going. We haven't even seen like an Imperial trooper yet. Like we haven't seen a
No.
stormtrooper. Isn't that
No,
crazy?
They're outsourcing. It's crazy.
Yeah, I like the corpos. I think that was a really smart idea. Yeah,
That's
like
another
adding in like
thing
these.
I do want to touch on. The side characters in this series are great. Like I'm
Mhm.
interested in everything going on outside of Cassian, like which
Yeah.
is not every series can say that. Especially we'll talk about. I like Rings of Power, but there's some they did a storyline today for like 15 minutes that I was just like
Yep.
fucking hell.
Yep. Yeah, there's a couple of those. We've talked every time we watch Rings of Power because there's like probably 5 storylines going on at once. Like we power rank them, and there's some that are just they're no good. The
Is Rings of
Harfoots
Power hour long every week too.
well-
this one was pretty long.
This seems like an hour 5.
Yeah,
this
that
one was
probably
pretty long.
helps Andor to a degree. I think the runtime
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
35, 40 minutes, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Also-
lot.
It has to be said, B2MO. That's a hell of a fucking droid. We have ourselves a good droid here. I think you can
Yeah,
find
he
out about
was.
droids a lot.
It was so cute when before Cassian was going to leave either in episode 1, episode 2. He's getting ready to leave like his little hut, and he's talking to the droid, and he like pulls out like a little piece of wire out of him.
Yeah.
Like, before he does, he's like, "Hold on, you got something." Like a little dad. Oh, it was so cute.
Yeah, that was.
He's
that was
like
a good
Wally,
episode.
Star Wars Wally.
Star Wars
Yeah.
Wally. Yeah, he is.
He's in the
That's a good
junkyard
comp.
and everything.
Yeah, that's a good comp. I think a lot of those side characters really are like the actors too are really cool. Like the dude who plays, I don't know what you would call him, the dude that works in the junkyard that Andor's friends with. I
Yeah.
forget his name,
Yeah.
but he was really cool. That actor was awesome in a small.
He's
little,
great. Bix
bit.
is great. Her
Yeah.
shithead boyfriend is great. Like
I
everyone
kinda
is
like the
really
shithead
good in their
boyfriends.
roles. Yeah.
Yeah, you know that the dude looks like Ramsey Bolton, our main
Yeah.
antagonist right now. He
Yeah.
really does. He looks like he could be his brother.
Yeah.
All-time
That is-
punchable face too. Rob and I
Yes.
said that like
Yeah.
the same time on the podcast. It's crazy. How punchable
Yep,
he is.
very punchable, and I love how he's like a corporate rat and like not like just some
Yeah.
random Imperial troop or whatever. Although I do like that little bit of like ISB we got with the dude who played like the Maester from Game of Thrones. He was like leading the ISB. Like ISB is like one of the coolest things I think in Star Wars, like their entire division or whatever. A couple other good actors. There was have you guys seen Chernobyl?
I saw like the first couple episodes it fell off, but I thought it was so good. I don't know why I fell off. I
Mhm.
was like really, really enjoying it.
I watched the first episode and then I was like, I don't think I have the heart for this. Like, it's only going to
It's
get
dark.
worse from here. Yeah.
There's an actor from that who's like just like a miner who like they have to mine underneath the factory of Chernobyl to like drain shit, and like they mine naked because it's too hot, and he's just like, and that dude, the main miner's big fat dude, he's the dude who's like the Scottish head of security that runs out on that thing, which is very funny, and that guy dropped the first ever shit in Star
He
Wars.
did. We talked about that. He said shit. That was huge
Yeah.
for the galaxy.
That's our that's our biggest like hope for the rest of the series. It's like we got sex, we got cursing, and then it's like let's get some like more degenerate shit. I want to see like legit like strippers, maybe some gambling, responsible gambling, but gambling
Star Wars
nonetheless.
incest.
Whoa, Bob
That
Fox.
is coming eventually.
Listen, what's after the next two you just listed?
Yeah.
Cassian's really looking for that sister for some reason.
What if Luke and Leia didn't realize? There we go.
Yeah,
Now we're talking.
That's really good point. They're already almost there. Maybe Game of Thrones took a hint from them.
You could
take it one step further.
There's drawings online that go viral. Some Jake Bartok, I think is his name, of like medieval Star Wars. You could do a what if Star Wars was a Knights and Dragons show.
Dude, I love when stuff does that. When they do just medieval versions.
Just made me laugh.
DC has a. Have you read the DC?
I don't know why it's made me laugh.
Jack Lopez.
That's just funny. Let's see. This would be space cocaine, which is essentially spice, right? Like the Cantona spice is like their version of cocaine. Yeah. Sorry, were you saying Gooch?
I forget now.
I'm blown away by Pearl Harbor
Robbie,
too.
have you read the Dark Knights of Steel?
The what?
That Dark Knights of Steel. It's like DC. They have it running right now. So good. It's just DC.
Medieval DC
so
shit.
good.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think one of the episodes of the Star Wars anthology, they do like it was essentially like they're samurais and like they have like the same outfits and shit like that, which is really
awesome.
really cool. Yeah, that was a good one.
Batman Ninja was cool.
Yeah, that's true.
That was really cool.
They always do that. They always make like a samurai version of like protagonists. Like there's like a samurai like Superman. Like there's samurai everything. It's bizarre. But yeah, okay. So we can go into. Oh, this is a good question. I don't know if you smoke, or inject spice. I really have no clue what you do with it.
I think all three probably. I think
what did Grief Karga say when he's like, go get a Camtono of spice, and I forget he says something about not how you inject it, but like what you do. You know what I mean? I forget exactly. Huh.
I think you could probably do all of it. That's what you could do with coke, right? Isn't crack cocaine? Isn't it just you smoking cocaine?
The cops got you, Bob. I hear the sirens. That was incredible timing right there.
That's my fucking thing right here. They going after me because of Rob.
Did we kind of see that in Book of Boba Fett? Like we saw like the homeless Jango Fett clone. Wasn't there something? Did he have spice on him?
He wasn't doing crack though.
I thought that was Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan. They walk on me.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a really cool little scene.
Yeah. That was like the closest thing I saw to what we saw in Andor. Was like it felt real, where it's like, oh shit, like this is some real time.
Like the ramifications of war getting to people.
We've been watching war for 45 years, and we finally have what it would really feel like if there was a war going on.
I want to go back to that planet. The Daiyu. That planet.
Not cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
The neon was very, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can get into our draft here. Again, we're drafting force insensitive characters, so they're
insensitive or use
insensitive, like they cannot use the force.
Okay.
At all. I did the list randomizer to figure out the order we're going. Robbie, you have first pick. Robbie Fox, you have first pick. Goochman, you have second. Clem, you have third. I have fourth. So first up, Robbie Fox.
I'm thrilled to get the first pick, and I'm going with the pick that you all know I'm going with. It's the chalkiest pick of all time, and it's chalky for a reason. It's the man who made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. It's Han Solo. How could you not go Han Solo with the first pick in this draft?
He's one of the coolest movie characters ever in any genre.
It was just no competition.
Yeah,
there's no close second. Like
no, there's not.
You could make the argument he's the best Star Wars character, like the coolest.
Period.
You could make the argument he's the coolest character in anything.
Yeah, sorry, Clem, go ahead.
He's so cool Han Solo is so cool that Harrison Ford, they just allow him to fly planes and he keeps scratching him because Han Solo is so fucking good at flying planes in a fictional fucking universe. It's unbelievable.
They made the Kessel Run less than 12 parsecs. Let him up there.
He's handsome as hell. And you want to talk force insensitive? I guarantee Han Solo has said some problematic shit about people that are force sensitive, right?
Yeah.
Like he's definitely.
And you know what? Even people that don't like the sequels, Han Solo is pretty fucking good in them. Harrison Ford delivered good performances, even in Rise of Skywalker, where he didn't really need to. That's a pretty good scene, I think. It's weird that he's a Force ghost a little bit, but yeah, he's a Vision. You know, he's not a Force ghost, whatever.
Yeah, he is still not Force sensitive, although he did make a Force sensitive kid that kind of did a lot of bad shit or whatever.
And can we talk about that? He was a fucking drug dealer who went and married royalty.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on.
Yeah,
this guy's the best.
He really is a drug dealer. I never really thought about it that way, but it's true.
Weather outside today, we just got into Han Solo jacket season. for the ladies.
Yeah,
They'll start wearing their Han Solo outfits.
That's two big things about Han Solo is that like he had one of the coolest outfits in all of Star Wars, and he also had like probably the coolest gun, like the coolest singular gun.
Oh,
The L-44 is so goddamn cool. It's insanely good.
Yeah.
I mean, Meghan Markle was an insanely she's a rich and famous actress, not a drug dealer. So I don't think it's exactly.
It's more Arnold Schwarzenegger, I would say.
Yes, that's closer, I guess.
I read that as Han walks so Meghan Markle could come, and I'm like, I don't know this story.
But yeah, I think that's obviously the very, very obvious pick, but also like the right one. Like it's indisputably the only one you could pick in that spot. Goochman, you're up.
This is where it gets a little tough because there's a few different ways you can go. Fuck. But I'm gonna go R2. I'm gonna go R2. R2 is so iconically Star Wars. He's just
killed Clem. You bastard.
I killed. Get this man some spice.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. But yeah, R2's a great pick.
Yeah, I mean R2 is Star Wars. Like he just is. Like everything about him is like the good side of Star Wars. He's been there through the thick and the thin. He saw the great original trilogy, the not so great prequels. He's been here for the sequels, through the animated series. He's been through everything. He's the fucking man. Iconic little scream. Every time I hear it, I laugh. It makes me smile. God, he's so great.
There was a TikTok trend for a little bit where like it's be like, hey fellas, give me your best R2 scream. I can't do it, but like it was really fun watching the videos. There's all these dudes doing I'll try. Like
pretty good.
It's just really good. Yeah. But it's just really fun to watch. But yeah, he's like sneakily the biggest and most universally good hero in all of Star Wars.
Yes, like he actually useful too. Like he does good shit. Like
yeah. C-3PO useless. Absolutely useless piece of shit.
He's just a ball of anxiety. He's
a
big metal tin anxiety ball.
He needs Babu Frick to get anything done.
Yes, literally, yes. He shows up with red arm.
Jailbreak him, yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, R2-D2 has literally saved the universe on multiple occasions and has always been on the right side of history. You know what I mean? Like R2 could have went with Anakin after he turned evil. Sure didn't. Sure didn't. He stayed on the side of good. Actually, I don't remember. What did he do in the years in between Anakin turning evil?
Sure, we'll find out at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if he doesn't show up in Andor, I'll be upset.
We are getting an animated droid series, though, right? Droids is coming back.
Yeah, I think so.
So maybe we'll find out there.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. Now, Clem, you're up. Although you did just get your what I assume was your first overall leached.
Like Hans 1-1. You could run to the podium. I saw all the comments there, right? But R2's my guy, and I could have I didn't want the first pick because I didn't want to take R2 over Han, and then just like it just would have been a tough decision. And I'm like, maybe I'll get him at 3. But and Gooch, you can tell Gooch was conflicted. I'd love to know what his other options there were. Yeah, C-3PO is the teacher that has Rome. But man, that hurts. R2, I've said this a million times. He's like the big shot Bob Orri of the Star Wars universe. He doesn't do a ton of shit, but every time he does it, he comes through clutch. He pops the fucking lightsaber out perfectly right to Luke on the fucking, the barge.
Good throw.
He's so awesome. He always fixes the hyperdrive when you need to picks any lock. It's just going to turn into an R2-D2 just slob job here.
Sneaky great R2 moment is in Revenge of the Sith when he like sprays the oil all over the battle droids and lights them up.
Slip, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's the best. So shout out R2-D2. There's one issue with this, and I don't even know if this is possible. I do think there's a chance R2-D2 has the Force. I honestly do. I don't know if droids could have the Force.
R5 was Force sensitive, right? That was the whole comic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at least R5 was. And they say
and
that's
R5
why R5
is coming
blew
into
up.
Mando season 3. Did you see him in the trailer?
Yeah,
He's in the back
yeah.
of the Naboo ship.
So do you know R5 is, Clem? He's the droid that like blows up when they decide Owen and Luke decide to buy R2 instead.
Oh yeah.
They said there's a whole comic book about it where it's like R5 is Force sensitive and he knew he had to blow up because R2 would save the universe.
I've seen that. Now that you mention it, I've definitely seen that, which I love. It's so fucking silly, but I love it too. Oh man. All right, I guess I'm up here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm just gonna go. The first two, you say this about the first two characters, both are cool as fuck. That's the thing about Han. That's the thing about R2. I'm gonna go cool here just with the first play. I'm going Lando Calrissian.
Damn.
Damn.
it's fashionable. He's fashionable. He might have, and we talked about this on the basement too. And it's one of my favorite things about Empire and the original trilogy that I hope we see more of in Andor. Just like the politicking or the hard decisions, Lando had to make that decision. He had to do it for his people. He kind of like fucked it up, but then kind of made out all right in the end. And I mean, Billy D. Williams just cool as shit. And then even in the Han Solo movie, he kind of did. He sucked the least, I guess, out of that one. I know Ken Jack's a Solo fan, so I don't want to go too much into that. But
he was awesome in that. Glover was admittedly great.
Yeah.
And a great name, Lando Calrissian. It just fucking flows. It can go as Lando or
good.
Lando Calrissian. So
and being
the way
a card
Lando
shark
says it himself too is just like everything he says really just is smooth as hell.
That scene where he like introduces himself to Leia and he's like, "I'm Lando Calrissian."
He's literally filming on my street right now.
Billy D. Williams,
really?
Childish Gambino.
Still cool. Still cool.
He's filming, right outside doing
Atlanta
with Maya Erskine, the Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh,
that's right, the TV series, right?
Yep.
Interesting.
I think Lando Calrissian is the only person that could say, "I'm the administrator of this planet," and make it sound sexy as fuck. Like he just said he was an administrator, and somehow it was hot. Like
I'm the leader of the PTA.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and he like introduced himself and like gave her the kiss on the hand, and Han had him and Han back and forth was so good. And I think both the original trilogy and in Lando to a different degree, but him being like a card shark turned administrator, bad guy that you still love, and like him getting the redemption by like later turning on Vader, and then like the scene where he fights everybody when he's disguised as the guard in Jabba's palace, I think is also very awesome. He had a great outfit in that.
I had an action figure of him like that, and the helmet came off. It was one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was. I really, really liked it. Shit, and it also made me. I remember when I watched the movie, my dad was like, "Oh, you should watch his trailers or the commercials." Billy D. Williams for Colt 45, and man, they are really cool too. They're really fucking cool. He's just a really goddamn cool. He is a really goddamn cool man. All right, I got back to back. I'll start with a character who should not be this cool and should not be this revered and should not be as just like high on the pedestal for Star Wars fans as he is, because he has almost no screen time and does nothing. Boba Fett. Boba Fett, really, when you think about it, he had 5 minutes of screen time max in that entire original trilogy. He had like one line, maybe two or three lines, and like everybody was like, "Holy shit, Boba's the best. Boba's the best. We need more Boba. We need more Boba. We need more this." And like he just looked cool. The Australian accent, cool ass Mandalorian armor was awesome. And then like I think just something about his ship too. Slave One was sick, and just everything about him was awesome.
Boba Fett starship.
Yeah, now it's just Boba Fett starship. But yeah, that ship, when we see more of it in the actual fight sequences in what do you call it? Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones, with the sonic boom charge, fucking cool as hell. Book of Boba Fett, I never really came to justify its existence. I still think like he was a cool character, but I think if he was left alone, we would look at him even more highly than we still do. And man, he's cool. There's no doubt about it.
Coolest action figure, if I'm not mistaken, too.
One of the most expensive. Like
that figure was sweet when it came. The rocket came out of the back.
Honestly, any figure of Boba Fett is like the coolest action figure. Whatever Star Wars line you grew up with, the Boba Fett one was, all marked up legitimately like his armor because you played with it the most.
Don't discount the name Boba Fett either. That's what makes him just as fucking cool. Even the toys, like you said, but that's the thing. It's like he's like an oxymoron, Boba Fett. Or I don't know if that's even the word for it, but he's so cool, yet he always fucking was failing. Like he dies in such a ridiculous way. Even his like rocket thing makes no sense. I guess they kind of made it make a little more sense in Mando, right? When he bends down and he shoots it out and he's able to kind of shoot it with his eyes and have it make a little bit more sense. But that was he was like it was between him and Lando for me. He's just that good. But the Book of Boba Fett left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, so I had to kind of. It was just nothing but back to tank flashbacks. That was the entire fucking series.
Yeah,
he was so cool in 5 minutes of screen time that he had us hyped for fucking Jango Fett.
Yeah. His dad. Yeah,
we were just excited for Jango Fett. We're like, oh, it's Boba's kid, gonna be sick, and then he was just a big nothing burger of a character.
Yep. And we talked to Patton Oswalt about it recently, but like him accurately predicting exactly how they would have him come out. Oh, he mentioned that Filoni called him and told him like, hey, we're gonna like use this. basically. We're gonna
Oh
use
my
this as a thing.
God.
He's like, pay attention to the next episode. He saw it and he was freaking out, and he was getting like flooded with notifications. Like, holy shit, your thing that you invented is like the start of the show.
Our stream may have gone down. 1 second.
Oh shit, did it?
Oh no, it says we're live still.
Let me
Says
check.
someone said close and come back in. Oh, okay. They said they're closed the stream and they came back in and it was fine.
So some people are watching, right? We got some people here.
Stream
Triple
and
G's
come
watching.
back in.
I don't know if that's Gennady Golovkin watching.
And we're good on Twitch too, according
All
to
right.
James.
I just threw it in there. All right, yeah, we can continue. But yeah, another cool thing people forget about Boba is like that one action figure, right? The one with the missile launch that got discontinued. Yeah. It like they sell for like $1 million. Like this stupid little Kenner toy. Yeah, it is insane.
This also is a thing for Boba and Lando. I almost made the point with Lando, but Boba fits it too. Two of the rare people that outsmarted Han Solo. I mean, Lando obviously pulls the okie doke on him in Cloud City, and Boba's the only one who's like, he might just kind of chill and wait for the trash to get dumped out, before they go to Cloud City.
I think we've talked about this before, but one of the coolest things to revert to Han Solo, one of the coolest things Han Solo ever did is when he opens the door and Darth Vader's standing there, he doesn't even hesitate for a second, pulls out, pops him like 10 times.
Yeah.
Doesn't even stop for a second. I think that was another very, in like a long line of awesome Han Solo moments. I'll back-to-back Boba with what I think is the better Mandalorian in Mando, in Din Djarin. Din Djarin is, I think, one of the coolest non-force using characters. He obviously just has like a really cool aura, like with the Western sort of vibe to him, right? Like the bounty hunter, just like Boba Fett, and like something about like I think bounty hunters we just get drawn to. Bounty hunters are cool as fuck, and like him having that really dark side, like cutting that dude in half in the first episode, to being like the doting father over Baby O, I think has been something that I've really liked. So I just got to go with Mando here. I don't know if you guys think it's too high, but I think he's
he was high on my draft board.
Yeah, earlier in the career, but like what we've seen so far, very promising down the road. I mean, are we positive he's not force sensitive? I mean, that's the thing when you say force sensitive, because if you hop on the Star Wars Reddit, you can search any character and it'll come up with like a thread that's like, is blank source or force sensitive. He's cool as fuck. I mean, I want to see without his helmet a little bit more. You don't get it hardly at all, just because it's Pedro Pascal. And Pedro
not very religious then, I guess.
Yeah, disrespecting this dude's religion. Yeah. Those are also great moments. Him like kind of explaining more Mandalorian lore as like through live action has always been great. Like, can't remove the helmet, guns are my religion. So many great lines too. Just a great character. All right, Clem, you're back up.
Pedro Pascal definitely like knocks the coolness up like 100%. So if they do that, I'm with you on that, Gooch. I actually was hoping I was like, I don't know if Ken Jack will go double Mandalorian here. I was playing a little bit of giraffe strategy. You did it right in my fucking face. So tip of the cap, sir. This could cause problems in the locker room due to their past, but everything's smoothed over as we saw. I'm going Chewie. We're going with the Lando Chewie 1-2 combo. So basically, our boy Han is looking, and he has a couple of his old buddies rocking here. Can rip people's arms out without even trying. Old ass dude, but kept fucking going. I think we all remember that feeling when we thought Chewie died on one of those sequel movies. Which one was that? Was that Last Jedi or
Rise of Skywalker?
Chewbacca's an awesome name. Let's just call it that.
Yeah.
Chewie as a short name, as a nickname is great too. Great. Can anyone here do a good Chewbacca? This is the bar, guys.
I wish.
That's
Robbie does a terrible one. I know Robbie does a terrible one.
I can't do that. I can't get that.
And Owen's like the crossbow is. I feel like that's not an easy weapon to master, and our guy mastering it. What's like the stuff on his chest? Is that like
the bandolier?
Bandolier, yeah.
So
let's get a belt to that. I wear a bandolier belt every day. Not wearing it now because I'm in basketball shorts, but it's somewhere around here.
I think it's a bowcaster, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Still, people
and Han uses it in the. What are people in the chat saying? They're saying.
You know what? Here's what we'll do. No. Are people having issues with the stream? Let's end the broadcast and come right back. Does that work?
Yeah, sure.
Do a quick refresh. All right, we're back. Clem, you had just picked Chewie, and we were talking about how he chews people's arms off, has a bowcaster, a bandolier, among many other things, and just how, in general, Chewie is awesome.
He's, just like a best friend, right? Like that's a good, huge dog that could kick your ass whenever you're kick someone else's ass. Even better, just kick someone else's ass if you need it done. He's very bad at, I can never remember what's the name of the game where he says, "Let the Wookiee win."
Oh,
Dejarik.
The
yeah,
Jark.
yeah.
So that's his only weakness. He's not good at the Jark.
Yeah. He's almost like the living embodiment of R2 in my brain. It's like just a universally good companion that has been in every stage of the Star Wars Skywalker saga, so to speak, and has just been incredible in every one. Just always been a good guy.
And
He
the
has
best.
been in all 3 trilogies. That's weird to think
Yeah.
about sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
he was in Revenge of the
Yep.
Sith briefly.
That's right.
He's like, farewell,
Saves Yoda.
Chewie. Yeah.
Saves Yoda, and then obviously all the stuff in the original trilogy, and he's like a little bit some good scenes in the sequel trilogy too, like the scene where he gives Han the bowcaster and Han like blows some shit up. He's like, I really like this.
His reaction to Han's death is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
He lets out the fucking and then he fucking hits Kylo Ren.
I know you guys don't like Solo, but he was cool as fucking Solo.
Yeah,
he
was it
really good in
goggles?
Solo.
Yes.
Yep. And that whole scene in the beginning where he's like chained up doing like that's like fighting people for sport.
Yeah.
He's covered in mud. Oh,
yeah, that was actually, I think that was another great part from Solo, is when he was like, Han was like, yeah, I took it in college or whatever. Or some shit. He's like, I never finished, but I took it in college. I thought that was pretty funny. That's another character, by the way. I forget the dude's name. Who's Woody Harrelson's character in Solo? Like, I considered for a split second putting him on here, but I'm like, it's just not enough material. But he was so cool. Beckett. Yeah. He was really cool, I think, in that movie as far as rogues go. Yeah. Oh, come on.
No. His name is Woody Harrelson in Solo. Like, we do not give him real name. Like that, everyone's just gonna call him Woody Harrelson in Solo.
He's fucking good, and he gives Han Solo the DL-44, which is the better thing as far as origin stories go than Solo.
Like, wasn't it like a long gun? Doesn't he take a barrel off? Yeah.
It was Blorko.
Yeah, that was his name, Blorko, as everyone knows. It's my favorite Star Wars thing, and one of my favorite things Coley would do is Coley hated Star Wars names, and going down the list of them with him was always fun. All right, Goochman, you're up.
All right, I'm going to go a guy who's had almost no screen time in live action, but just dominated the animated series, Clone Wars series, especially Cad Bane. Yeah, Cad Bane is so, Kinjack, you brought it up. Bounty hunters are cool. He is so fucking cool. The fact that he just takes down Jedis like it's just no big deal. Like, is there anyone else that can really do that? Like, he is just a top dog, ruthless. He looks cool with that fucking hat, those 6-shooters. He's a Filoni creation, and he's just a golden character.
Yep. Clem, I know that when we were doing Bad Batch, that was your first introduction to Cad Bane. Definitely cooler in that than he is in live action, but still cool, great in both.
Yeah, I didn't like that he just got dogged.
Yeah, that was bullshit in my opinion.
Not like a bitch.
Yeah, that was a lame end for Cad Bane, but Cad Bane is one of the coolest characters, and he's just like, you almost root for him. I'm like, I want to see the bad guys that are not like a Sith take down Jedi, and he just murks Jedi like it's just his business, and just something about that is cool.
All you need to know about Cad Bane is I met him last year? What was it, 2 years ago? Whenever the Bad Batch came out, and he was
where'd you meet him at? Arby's or?
Roast beef.
Yep. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
It's crazy though that this draft has gone literally. There's a billion Star Wars characters we can draft, and every single guy in my top 5 or 6 or whatever it's been is off the board. And Cad Bane,
my top 7 are gone. Yeah.
And Cad Bane made it all the way to right below Chewie, and I've known him for 2 years or whatever.
Yep.
He definitely buys the curly fries, by the way, at Arby's. No doubt he buys the curly fries at Arby's.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He loves what's their sauce, their little vinegary sauce? Like, I forget what it is, but it's very tart.
We have the meat sauce.
Something like that. Yeah, probably. That would make sense. The great line he says that I know you like to come, and I think it was in Bad Batch, where he goes, like, by hook or by crook, you're coming with me. Like, he's just fucking badass as hell.
Horsey sauce?
Horsey sauce, is that seems right. Their logo is a big-ass horse. Okay,
isn't it a hat? Isn't their logo a hat?
Is it? For me, I thought it was a horse.
No, that would be fucked up.
It's like a Pharrell hat.
Yeah. Because then you think you're eating horse at Arby's. Do you think they've ever served horse at Arby's at an Arby's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no
Horsey sauce definitely has horse in it too. Like there's no doubt about it.
Robbie Fox, you're back up.
Yeah. So this is tough. I have back-to-back picks here. Is that right?
You do.
Yeah.
It was tough. I wanted the first pick real bad because I wanted Han Solo. How could you not want Han Solo? But like Clem said, and like I said, my first 7 picks are like off the board. So I realize now my team is going to kick off with just some badass mofos. Han Solo is my first draft pick. with my second. I'm going with Poe Dameron. I know a
Mm.
lot of people don't love the sequels. I love Poe Dameron. I love Oscar Isaac in that role from his first scene where they're like, this will begin to make things right again. From that until the Rise of Skywalker, where he's leading everyone into the charge on Exegol, I think he was a great character. I think he was actually very well used. I wouldn't have used him more. I wouldn't have used him less. And they were originally going to kill him in The Force Awakens,
Yeah.
which is crazy to think about. I'm going to go Poe Dameron, and I'm going to wrap it around with the reason this draft is happening, Cassian Andor. I think he's another one where I'm kind of buying low stock here and hoping that it goes up through the end of this season. But I really love Diego Luna in that role, and I feel like he's a big part of the reason why the show's even working in the first place.
Right, Gooch, you had some comments on Poe Dameron. I could see it.
I was just going to say, like, even if you want to criticize the sequel, and there's legit gripes with the sequel trilogy that anyone can have, I don't think he's a character you can dog. Like, he's a good character. I don't think there's any issues in the way they wrote him, used him. Everything about him was cool. I liked everything about him. Like, through the whole trilogy.
They fed him two of the worst lines in that sequel trilogy, which is this: "They fly now," and also
They
the
fly
Emperor
now.
returns somehow. But like, he still is good despite of that, which I think is a proof positive of how good of a character he was.
And also, I think even though people hate the sequels, the chemistry between him, John Boyega, and Daisy Ridley was like really there.
Yeah.
Throughout all three movies, like when they were together, which they weren't together a lot in Last Jedi, but even in Rise of Skywalker, like that reunion at the end, you kind of feel something when they all reunite on that planet. And it's like, oh, these are the three characters who we spent the whole trilogy with. I think they were all great.
He also had like the Lamborghini Countach of like X-Wings. Like his X-Wing was the coolest thing I've ever seen out of any one of the X-Wings. The full black on orange is such a cool scheme. And just like the way that like those versions of X-Wings, I think look kind of cooler without like the full circle thing, like the circle that divides in half.
Yeah.
Like I think that was cool as hell. So Poe Dameron and Andor back to back. Very solid picks. Goochman, you're back up.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. General Grievous, baby. I love him. One of those rare characters that uses sabers but can't use the Force. He's just cool. I mean, fucking dope ass droid with he's got the spinning arms. He gets kind of dogged in live action, but especially in the animated series, go back to the Clone Wars, which it's just something. It's the best Star Wars content of my life, so that's what I really enjoy. He's a really good character in there too.
COVID patient zero.
Literally, yeah. You ever see like and they did this a lot in Clone Wars, what he used to look like? It's so weird seeing it in comparison. Like,
I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. And I just love how he could go almost like we were talking about with Cad Bane. He goes toe to toe with Jedi all the time and like loses most of the battles, but like he still manages to fight him off for the most part.
Also cool. Funny that they mention in his scene with Anakin and Revenge of the Sith, like Anakin's like, I expected you to be taller or something like that. So throughout the entire Clone Wars, they had to keep Anakin and Grievous separate because they could never meet because of that.
Yeah. They what do you call it? He also, I guess, is a prolific killer of Jedi because when he grabs the sabers, he's like, obviously another one for my collection. He must have killed like an untold amount of Jedi.
Either that or he's like the #1 eBay user of all time.
Yeah, that's true. Grievous, I think, is a very good pick, though. He's just a cool character. The coughing, the voice. He has a great voice. One of the great voices in all of Star Wars by far. And just the fact that he has to work with all these droids, and in Clone Wars especially, he just beats the shit out of them.
His guards are badass,
not the clones,
too.
The droids, sorry,
yeah.
His guards are like, I love the design of them with their little like purple electronic sticks and shit. I remember I had an action figure of the droids that I thought was awesome.
I forget what they're called, like something guard Praetorians or some shit. I forget exactly what it was, but they were cool as fuck. And the fact that they could not really go toe to toe with like Anakin or anything, but they could fight pretty well.
Yeah, they're better than stormtroopers.
Yeah, this is true. I feel like this is like, 100%. Hey, that's our thing.
Oh, it's appropriating. Yeah.
So wrapped up in their own assholes, they definitely get offended.
Definitely, yeah.
Yep, you're appropriating our culture, the Jedi religion. If you use a lightsaber,
he probably called Obi-Wan like, "Did you get the fucking lightsabers back from him?" He's like,
yes,
"No,
exactly.
Order 66 just happened. What are you talking about?"
All right, Clem, you're back up.
That's actually a good point about Grievous too. Like, I feel like a non-force sensitive person using a lightsaber is probably very dangerous. Like, if any of us picked it up, we'd be dead within 3 minutes.
Oh,
it's like
look at Mando.
Yeah.
The
exactly.
darksaber slices his whole thigh open.
Luke almost like kills him. He almost kills himself or Obi-Wan when he like turns it on and it goes right by the fucking head in New Hope. So and Luke is force sensitive. So shout out to Grievous for that. I also just looked at Grievous before. I've never seen it. Obviously, I didn't watch the old ones. He looks like he's like a wildling, like the king of the wildlings back in Thrones or something like that. All right, this one we're going outside the box a little, but God is my witness. Second favorite character in Star Wars. Robbie knows this. Confirmed. The Millennium Falcon. I'm going with the Millennium Falcon. It's as much a character as any droid, in my opinion. It has the fucking Lando's lover in it as its like thing, which again kind of made it like it's like I always felt the Falcon was like a character in the show, and that made it like basically legit by putting the girl. What was the girl droid's name? I don't remember.
L3 something. I think L3 was like
it was numbers and letters.
L7.
L7. That's
L7,
right.
yeah.
L7 weenie. So the Millennium Falcon, it gets us out of all these jams. It has all that spunk. It just feels like home. I mean, Han said it best, right? Chewie, we're home. And now I got Lando, Chewie, and the Falcon. Bob, if we can work out a trade for Han, I can fucking put together a hell of a fucking squad here.
Yeah, 9-nub is going to be your next pick.
Yeah. Bob, we don't say names.
Sorry, I didn't say. I spoiled it. Yeah.
Fuck, that's a good pick. And it's true. It is really a character. And as far as like vehicles go, it is the vehicle in Star Wars. It is the car, the whatever you want to call it. It's the number one.
Clem has been also saying the Millennium Falcon is a second favorite Star Wars character for years. So I understand some people might think that's a controversial pick, but that is what that man truly feels in his heart.
I think it's a really good pick. For my next one, and I get back to back here, I'll start with one that hasn't got a ton. Well, actually, he's gotten 0 in live action. He had some appearance in the animated series, a lot more in the books. Admiral Thrawn. Admiral Thrawn is one of the coolest characters. Yeah, I fucking knew you would go for it, Gooch. Admiral Thrawn is one of the coolest characters I think ever made for Star Wars. He's just like extremely menacing, scary, brilliant.
Live action. Cannot wait for him in live action.
Yeah, he'll be awesome.
Me too. He's gonna.
I think he might be the overarching villain of like everything.
Era. Yeah.
Like, you know how they're teasing like, hey, maybe we're gonna do a movie one day where it's like Ahsoka, Mando, Boba, everyone. I feel like he's the Thanos of that.
Yes.
This is also very true. But yeah, they Thrawn is one of the coolest characters I think they've ever designed or put together. He's amazing. He's like among the Empire stooges, which he is not really a stooge, but among the Empire stooges, he's by far the number one guy that's like not the Emperor.
Definitely the most competent.
Yes, that is true. The number one most
he gets shit done.
He like outsmarts the Jedi or the rebels at every turn. Timothy Zahn, right? Timothy Zahn Zahn.
Then he comes to live inventor. That's the rumor, right? Is that confirmed or is that still just a rumor?
Oh,
I don't know for sure.
That'd be cool.
Do like Benedict Cumberbatch as
Lars come back and do it in live action. I don't think that would be a bad choice.
That'd be cool, yeah.
That's Mads Mikkelsen's brother, I believe.
He's a pretty good actor. Like he's been in stuff.
He voiced him in Rebels, and he was really good. And he's just like this long gout dude. He's the dude who played essentially Putin in House of Cards.
House of the Dragon.
No, not House of the Dragon. The Putin in House of the Dragon would actually fit though.
Thrawn kind of looks like the Night King.
Yeah.
Thrawn is pretty Hitlery.
Yes.
Very.
Yeah.
I think that's just the general empire, though. They're very much designed off of like Nazi uniforms.
That's an adjective, by the way. You could look it up. Hitlery.
Very Hitlery. But he's a cool ass character.
Have any of you read his books, like the Thrawn books?
Yes,
no,
they're awesome.
I haven't.
I've heard they're amazing. I heard they're like the
really good
Star Wars novels.
They'll make you like him even more.
Boys, I think we have our thumbnail and description. Barstool employee says Hitler is cool.
Hitlery is cool. That would be a name, I think. Next up is for me. This is where it gets a little bit harder. I'll go with one that left a very lasting impression on me as far in a movie that the way it should have essentially. It had a very short amount of screen time. K2SO. K2SO, one of the best droids, I think, in Star Wars, as far as live action goes. Super funny, voiced by Alan Tudyk. Great action scenes. And, like, dude, he had, like, his death scene was, like, fucking watching, like, Mufasa die or some shit. Like, it was, like, legitimately heartbreaking watching that scene.
Saddest death scene in that movie, I swear. And that's, like, not to shit on any of the emotional moments in that movie, because there's some sad human death scenes. But that was the one that, like, every time I watch it, I'm like, K2? No.
You can make it. It's just cool.
Yeah.
And also those ISB droids just look cool as shit, and like that just adds on to it for sure. But him just being like a sarcastic dickhead is just, it kills me. I think he's an awesome droid. And I don't want to see him in Andor or anything, I don't think, but like I want to see more. I don't like.
I want to see him in season 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say depending on how many seasons we go, I guess. I think at the very least not in this season. Just 2.
It's gonna be this whole season's gonna be in 5 BBY, and then season 2 is gonna jump. This is gonna get confusing. It's gonna jump 1 year every 3 episodes to get up to 0 BBY.
Gotcha.
So it's gonna span the 5 years.
All right. So I mean, if we get him towards the very, very end of
give us
2.
like 2 arcs with K2.
Yeah. Then maybe
just some more. You know,
I'm down with that.
He's so funny in that scene where Jyn Erso shoots one of the droids and it falls, and he's right behind it, and he's like, "Did you know that wasn't me?"
Yep.
Didn't Alan Tudyk accidentally confirm season 2 of Andor during our interview?
He might have. I think he might have, because he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not in season 1," and they were like, "What does that mean?" Yeah.
I could see that. He had so many good lines in that.
Did you guys interview Tudyk on Lights
Yeah,
Camera?
we did him for.
He was great. Yeah.
Resident Alien, which is, I think you've seen it too. Pretty good. Pretty fucking good show.
Super underrated show. Yeah. Very funny.
He's
on Sci-Fi.
Yep.
I watched A Knight's Tale for the 100th time the other night. Yeah, I mean, I love that movie. He's so good in it. Yeah,
there's the one line that K2SO has. I think that was in all the trailers for Rogue One, where he's like, "Congratulations, you're being rescued. Please don't resist," or whatever it is. Like, that always killed me. Clem, you're back up.
Rob, you said that was K2 was your second favorite droid ever, right?
I go R2, K2, and then like BB-8, like even above C-3PO. Like C-3PO, like we talked about, like is kind of useless. Like he's a legend. I respect him, but like you're kind of useless, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to watch that original trilogy again. Like, he's just such an asshole.
I love
him.
You
love him, but
you love him like the uncle that you're like, we're gonna invite you to Thanksgiving every year, but not to like the intimate family gathering.
Among the characters that are like on the most notable Star Wars characters ever, with most name recognition, CP3PO is the one where he was never sniffing my big board ever.
No,
like he was not going
like close. I would never draft him.
Yeah,
I respect him, but he's not on this list.
Yeah. All
right, for my pick. Ready? See if you can guess it. That's right. We're staying in Bespin, boys. We're not going to leave the Empire Strikes Back. We're going with Lobot. That's Rob knows that's my third favorite Star Wars character. Or I don't know if he's third favorite, but he's in the mix. He's like my favorite, extremely, extremely niche character. Helps like a coup d'etat or they fucking get one back over on the Empire. He's Lando's right-hand man. All the shit that Lando, I like to think Lobot is a huge part of the reason why Lando was able to go from like hustler to like the head administrative, guy of Bespin. So, I don't know. I kind of just always love that he just woke up. He had the fucking cool thing on his head and a sweet, again, names go a long way. Coley not liking names really did bum me out too, because I always thought Star Wars names are some of the best parts of these series. So Lobot with the 4 pick here.
There's one person that I don't think you would pick, but I remember I've showed this guy to you before. I'll share screen because I think it's that it's worthwhile. Let's do a window. So
oh yeah.
This guy that I think looks like Clem.
What's his name?
His name is Jirok. He was the gatekeeper of the Jedi Temple, and he was the first person to die during Order 66 when the Anakin stormed the temple.
It's kind of sick to be the first, something.
I would have been the first person to die in the Jedi Temple if that happened. If I was there, I would have been the first guy to die. So that checks out perfectly.
I mean, Clem, like,
am I doing the face right?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Like that's you. Yeah.
It's this guy and then Kombucha Girl. If you put a wig on me, I look like Kombucha Girl. That's the other
Kombucha Girl?
Kombucha Girl, yeah.
Oh no, Jimmy Broski.
Oh shit, that's funny.
We forgot to mention, by the way, Andor's fucking like dad is named Clem.
Yeah, no, that was
Clem
weird.
Clem Andor, yeah. It shows really about random. Me if you think about it. My namesake.
I love when
we were also saying, is that why you said he's gonna love episode 4? Is it just the story of Clem Andor?
No, I didn't catch that until one of you had posted. I forget.
Yeah.
Like I didn't watch the closed captioning on the on the screener. So
You're not a closed caption gang guy.
well, not on the screener. I don't think they had it. So
Gotcha.
There's 5 people in the Star Wars universe named Clem, by the way. I looked it up on Wikipedia.
We found up all the Clems. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait, can you just look that up on Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like weird because that's one of the most normal names.
Look up Gooch. See if there's a Star Wars Gooch.
I want to find out.
I would believe that so quickly.
Yeah, I was gonna say you doubt
Yeah.
that. You doubt that. That sounds exactly like something George Lucas would do.
Yeah.
There's one guy named Clem Robbins, and then I think they just misspelled it because it's 1B and then 2B and Robbins. And Robbie's like, that's just a Star Wars thing that there would be 2 guys named Clem Robbins. And 1B difference.
Yeah, that's like one of those normal names in Star Wars too. Like everyone else's name, like Blur's Kligman or whatever, and then like there's just Clem. Like it'd be like if there was just some guy named like Patrick in Star Wars.
There'd be
kind of like in Thrones. There was like we got Rhaenyra and Daemon spelled like demon, and then there's Jason.
Yeah. Then there's Jason. Then there's Otto.
Yep, Otto.
What's Otto doing here?
Yeah.
This is really random. Goochman, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna dip back into the animated series. I'm going Captain Rex.
He was on my board. Great pick.
Yeah, just a great dude. Just an all-around, just hell of a guy. Second in command to Anakin. His relationship, his friendship with Ahsoka, obviously coming towards the end. I mean, just incredible stuff. I love him. He's cool. And having what is he, Australian or New Zealand accent in Star Wars is very funny. Like just the way he delivered lines. Loved it.
Yeah.
And he spans Rebels and this and possibly Ahsoka, right? I mean, how can you do an Ahsoka show without giving us some Rex?
Yeah, I really hope they do something there. How many episodes are we gonna have?
I don't know.
Gooch, visual meme just based off this. Do one where it's like Otto Hightower will never ball, and then is cut to him dunking on someone. Please for the.
I have a screenshot somewhere of it's Salacious B. Crumb, but it's with, but it's Salacious B. Ballin. It's just him in a Lakers jersey.
But yeah, anyway, Captain Rex, awesome character. Probably the best singular clone character. I would say out of all of them. It's not like there's a high bar or something. Most of them are
it's not. It's not at all.
Yeah, no.
But
it's like
he's like
Captain Cody.
And Cody's the one that like turns on Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
like,
then there's like Fives and like the other ones from the Clone Wars that are really cool. So I don't know, but Captain Rex is the
there's Commander Fox.
Yeah, that's true. Is he's the guy that's in the head of the prison, right?
Yeah, he kind of turns like he's kind of not a great.
He's got the red armor.
Yeah.
He's in charge of the prisons.
Cool armor though. I always had. I would always buy his action figure because I was like, it says Fox and he's got cool armor.
Yeah. All right, Robbie, you have your last 2 picks.
This is a really, really tough decision. I was going back and forth on a lot of these guys on my list. Do I want a droid or do I want an alien? I think I want an alien. I'm going to go with my man Admiral Akbar. He was the one to recognize that it was, in fact, a drop. Another guy I would always have to buy his action figure. I remember going into a comic book store, seeing a whole wall of Power of the Force, and they were all $5 because those figures are still worth nothing. And I remember just being like, I'm going to find the Akbar one. I'm going to buy it just for shits and gigs. And I went and bought the Akbar one. I still have it to this day. And then with my last pick, I'm going to go with another guy buying stock maybe low and hoping he appears a little more. I'm going to go with Meigs Mayfeld. My man Billy Blast.
Oh wow, that's
from
good.
The Mandalorian. Bill Burr himself.
Yeah, good pick.
I love this character, especially in his second appearance. The first appearance, it was like Bill Burr's in the Star Wars universe. This is crazy. He's got a Boston accent, and he's making fun of Jar Jar and Gungans and stuff. The second appearance, when he's face to face with the man who shot Batman's parents, and he's given like the most emotional performance we've seen, that was amazing. So I'm gonna go Meigs Mayfeld. Fuck it.
The Admiral Akbar pick I think is awesome because like beyond like the funniness of his live action performance, like he's really good in Clone Wars. They have that whole arc on the underwater battle of Mon Cala where like they have that shark dude. Like that's a violent arc.
Yeah,
like that shark.
The guy with all the arms too.
Yeah, and like all the underwater droids, like all the they had the Quarians, right? Quarians fighting the I think
that's right.
Yeah, Quarians versus the Mon Calamari. They're all fighting each other underwater, and like that's a great arc. And fucking Admiral Akbar was really good in it. And Mayfield, I think, is an awesome pick. That's a sleeper one I never would have thought of, but he was great in every moment he was on screen.
Yeah,
at least in my opinion. All right, Goochman, you're up.
One thing you got to know about me, I support women's rights, but I also support their wrongs, and that's why I'm going Bo-Katan.
I like that.
Love Bo. Shout out Katie Sackhoff doing the voice and coming back to doing live action. Obviously going to be a huge part. And this is another one where I'm buying the stock low because she's clearly going to be a huge part of Mando season 3. Joining the Death Watch, not a great look. I can admit it.
Bad.
But
literally a terrorist.
She is Mandalorian to her core. Like she is like Mandalorian. I love everything about Mandalore, so I'm very excited to go back there next year. Bo-Katan. Not much else.
I believe Ken Jack recently called Bo-Katan the Star Wars equivalent to second in command to Osama.
It's a fact. Like bona fide fact. Like if Pre Vizsla was Osama bin Laden, which he pretty much was in the Clone Wars anyway, voiced by Jon Favreau, by the way, Pre Vizsla. And then Bo-Katan was like the second in command. That's just true. And she was like a bad person. And she basically got her sister killed. She got Mandalore taken over by like the criminal syndicates, which that was another great arc, by the way. The entire arc of Darth Maul.
That's up there with the best.
Yeah. When he goes in that room with all the I forget if it's Black Sun or one of those ones, but he walks in, like he tells all those people at that big conference table, he's like, yeah, you gotta join me. And they're like, no, fuck you. And then Shavaz just takes the double-sided lightsaber, flings it down, cuts off all their heads, and it comes back to him. Fucking awesome scene. That's a really good scene.
And the death of Bo-Katan's sister is like one of the all-time moments in Clone Wars.
Obi-Wan slam piece. I mean, that was an unbelievable one.
You talking about Ventress?
But yeah, Bo-Katan is a good character. I think and she's gonna have obviously a way bigger part to play in the future.
Yeah, someone said, it really looks like she's gonna be the antagonist, like the main antagonist.
And needs the Death Saber or the Dark Saber back from
the Death
Mando.
Saber. That should be a thing too.
Yeah, Babu didn't win. I think 4th overall, 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
Gooch better keep in his pocket the whole he should be without his helmet more though. She's not gonna like to hear that. You said that earlier.
It sounds like she doesn't even want him wearing any of the armor.
She doesn't like that. She doesn't like any of the what they call themselves, the clan or the sect of
cult. She was like you and your cult divided everything, name. Which is like
what was it? Like not like zealots or something. I forget exactly what, but they're Bo-Katan's got a big part to play. Clem, your last pick.
All right, so I have a few options here, and one of them I don't think I can do. If I say Darth Jar Jar, A, he's not technically a character, and B, he would be Force sensitive. He was Darth Jar Jar, correct? Yeah. So I'm crossing him off the list, and I love that he was already brought up in the pod. Are we doing? I'll save it for the honorable mentions. I'm really torn between two things right now.
Okay.
Fuck. You know what? I'm doing it. I have a better option that's going to look great on a graphic, but I don't give a fuck. There was way too much C-3PO slander on here. I'm going to take 3PO on my fucking team, man. And you know what? Now I have an entire Empire Strikes Back team. I got Lando, Chewie, the Falcon, Lobot, and C-3PO. There might be a scene, a clip, where they're all together in the frame. So I have my team that might have actually been together at one point, and we're going to rock with C-3PO. I'm not really even sure what this, like, do we ever say coolest or best? It's just like Force insensitive people.
Oh, yeah.
This guy comes through every time. He's a part of this. He's R2's muse, basically. Whatever you want to say it. C-3PO's there. He's built by Anakin, right? So there's a whole lot of shit we have going on.
I'm not sure you want to use that as a positive.
That might have, I take it back. I'm sorry.
C-3PO's built different.
You're eating it, Clem.
I'm getting booed.
No. Sorry, Clem. No.
You got to meet
also, you're like Empire Strikes Back, the movie where C-3PO was a fucking backpack.
Yeah. That's so true.
He was ready to tell the people. It's just he got blown to fucking smithereens. There was nothing he could do about that. That was a great scene too. My guy Chewie. He put
Chewie. That was a stand-up move from Chewie.
Clem's taking the 2007 New York Giants. It's funny you mentioned that too, because I was about to say, like, the Eli Manning for the Hall of Fame thing that always pisses people off, and then they say you can't write the story of the National Football League without mentioning Eli Manning. It's the same thing with C-3PO. He's the Eli Manning of Star Wars, and as I say that, I take it back because I love my boy Eli too much to even throw. By the way, Kenjack, that shirt, I got to see that whole shirt. Is that a fucking 2006 Chargers championship? Oh, that is incredible right there.
Let's get the block.
Oh, that is sexy. That is
an old ass one. I got it on an auction on eBay. It came in a cup. I wonder if
you outbid General Grievous for that.
That's another lightsaber. It is.
I bought like an assorted lot of old Charger stuff on eBay. It was awesome. Like all the shit is really cool. This is a fucking blurred background. I hate this shit so much. This is what I get for trying to hide my messy apartment.
Reveal it.
So it came in this cup.
That's nice.
It's kind of cool. It's a big ass cup too. I like it.
$12 plus $6.99 shipping.
Yeah. The entire package cost something like $45.
It came with more.
It was a lot of shit. It
Yeah.
was this shirt. It came with like a whole bunch of different memorabilia things. Like there's a lot. Whatever.
I gotta go on eBay more. I never check eBay.
Dude, neither do I.
Cool stuff on eBay.
When I start though, I go on a whole like that's when I bought that TV that's on my desk with the VCR
The last
player in
thing
it.
I bought on eBay was the VHS for you.
Yes, that's right. And I have like
Star
the whole
Wars.
stack.
Yeah.
Half of that I got from an antique store, but the other bunch I got from eBay. And like, man, I get a lot of shit off eBay. I think there's like 10 things hanging on my rack right now that are from eBay.
eBay's like peanut butter and jelly. Like you can go on a run and then you're like, man, why did I stop doing this? And then it's like, I have to stop doing this. This is bad for my health at this point.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, C3PO, I'm trying to think of like one pivotal moment or one thing where like R2D2 has a trillion of these, right? Where like he like is there a moment like that for C3PO?
Yeah, they all were gonna get eaten by fucking Ewoks, and then he acted like a god.
Oh,
goddamn jerks!
But if Luke never levitates him,
if there's a million, your aunt have balls to be your uncle. I don't want to hear it.
fucking, I love that. That's C3PO. All right, I have the last pick. This is where it gets a little difficult. Because there's so many on here I want. I feel like I can name them, right? Because they're in the last pick.
Yeah.
So Fennec Shand, I think, is an awesome character. Just not enough of her yet. Moff Gideon, I think, is probably my leader right now for wanting this pick because I think he's an incredible villain. IG-11, Taika Waititi's droid, awesome one. Cobb Vanth, Grief Karga. Queel, the voiced by an old Nick Nolte, awesome character in a short bit.
Oh, great fucking call.
Yeah. Dexter Jetster, Babu Frick.
Listen to all these names. How did Coley ever fucking think these names are
These are great names, yeah.
I wrote down Max Rebo, but I auto-corrected to Max Reba. And now I can think about is the maximum amount of Reba I can get in my life. And now I want to go watch the sitcom Reba, which is awesome, by the way. I've never seen it. A legitimately very good sitcom. I think among these, the best one I would have
Chris.
It's got to be Moff Gideon. It's got to be Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
I have to. I think it's just something about
a wielder of the Darksaber at one point.
Wielder of the Darksaber, awesome uniform, great.
Wielded
he has like
too.
yeah,
You know what he was doing.
Death Saber troopers. He destroyed Mandalore. He's like a super bad guy, but I mean, really, really well acted too.
Stole a baby, had baby handcuffs on the ready.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Handcuffs. Forgot about the baby handcuffs.
That's gotta be the most evil invention you ever put to paper. It's like, hey, I need you to make baby-sized handcuffs. Like
they're like,
you're going to hell.
Diameter? He's like 1 inch. 1 inch.
I want him to be tight too. But yeah, he's just cool. Giancarlo Esposito is just an awesome actor when he's doing well. I feel like the only thing that let him do is evil anymore. But like he's just such a good actor, man, and he crushes Moff Gideon.
There was only There's only 4 on my entire draft board that went undrafted. It was BB-8, Jar Jar Binks, Jabba the Hutt, and Padme.
Yeah,
I thought about Padme. I did think about Padme. I think
Padme was rough though, because like
a lot.
Our lists were sausage fest, right? Did anyone draft a chick?
I had check.
I got Bo-Katan.
Oh yeah.
C3PO is genderless, as is R2D2.
Wait, did you?
And K2SO.
I had a chick on my list.
Bo-Katan and
yeah.
Here, R2D2 is genderless.
The R2D2 is 100% genderless. K2SO, guy coded, but maybe you never know.
I'll be honest. I think R2 is a guy.
Me too.
Does General Davis have a dick?
Yeah, I mean, we have no clue. Like, I mean, maybe his species.
It'd be so funny if Grievous was just like, you know, I don't know, a chick named Bessie with a heavy voice.
Goochman had Bo-Katan too.
Sorry about that. I gotta get my Roman swipes.
I had Aunt Beru on my list, but only the Aunt Beru from Obi-Wan, where she was ready just to light up the entire fucking brigade on her own. Just a bad bitch.
All right, this is a good draft.
Yes, these are our teams.
This is fun.
I think this is a really, really good one. Robbie, Han Solo, Poe Dameron, Andor, Admiral Akbar, Mayfeld, Gooch, R2D2, Cad Bane, Grievous, Captain Rex, Bo-Katan, Clem, Lando, Chewie, Millennium Falcon, Lobot, C-3PO. That team is so stacked as far as like original characters go. Like that's going to be actually, I think, tough to beat. And then me, Boba, Mando. What's that?
Yeah, you got this locked up because you got a good mix of like new, old, animated. You got everything on there.
I think the hardcore Star Wars fans that know Thrawn will be like, "That's a steal" and all that.
The shit out of that one.
I think me going sequel trilogy second pick was risky for the graphic.
You're definitely gonna hear that when we put the graphic out for sure.
Yeah.
I've heard Thrawn is like awesome, and I don't know anything about him. But
everyone loves Thrawn.
He's gonna be big in which show? He's coming up, right? Ahsoka. Okay, I'm very excited for that. Now listen, the 3PO slander aside, if I had drafted the guy I wanted there, tell me, does my board look completely different? I was gonna go Wedge, the guy who makes it through all that. Yeah, I think Wedge plays.
Wedge. I was thinking about drafting Wedge. He deserved a spot on this draft.
Yeah, I thought so too.
It's weird. Why you drilling?
Think about what I'd do to C-3PO if I ever met him.
That's the funny thing too, is like C-3PO could end up not being on this graphic, and if we put it out, no one would bat an eye. Like no one would be like, "Where the fuck is C-3PO?" Like there's no stand like that for 3PO. What's really funny? You guys ever watched that old YouTube video, the Star Wars rap one?
Yeah, Star Wars rap.
Yeah, where they have the whole bit about C-3PO. No. This is like it's clips of old Star Wars, and then it's like
I thought you were talking about the old Flash animation one.
No, and it's like there's a whole bit about C-3PO yelling at R2 for fucking robotic strangers with his like little dick thing, and then another one about how he loves taking golden showers. C-3PO. It's a pretty good rap. I gotta find that again. But yeah, anyway, here's our teams. I think we did pretty good overall. You could make a team out of the not drafted, I think, easily, like multiple teams.
Yeah.
That's just because Star Wars has such a depth. Like their bench is deep. But yeah, great time. Thanks to the boys at My Mom's Basement. Make sure you go subscribe, watch all their stuff as well. They have way more comprehensive breakdowns of Andor than you'll get on LCB. So definitely go check theirs out.
Like an hour-long recap. Put it out yesterday.
Yeah, but they won't have any Lord of the Rings, which sucks. Nope. But you guys got to come to us for that.
Yep.
Sad to say.
You guys own the contract on that.
Yeah. And we're gonna have. I think we're gonna have a lot to say about Lord of the Rings, right, Gooch?
Yeah, I gotta give a quick apology. Sorry, Cock. Sorry, I was mean to you in the Discord, or mean to you on the pod. Yeah, hopefully we can put this behind us.
We do have one guy whose entire Avi is just anti-Gooch.
It's like, like the Ghostbusters. Like, no.
Yeah. But yeah, again, thanks to the boys. We will be back next Friday with a new draft. But yeah, this is really fun. Thanks so much, fellas.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.